and welcome back to 10 out of 10 with Watch Again with Lauren and Ross.
Hello there.
We're looking at sea otters. So, thank you for being super sound about us basically deleting the V for Vendetta episodes. Do you know that way we were like, oh, class, Bonfire Night's coming up, let's do a movie about that. And then when we watched it, realised it was a bit of a deeper movie than what we thought. And then, listen, put the blame where the blame is to be. It was fully me. I was sitting there spiral thinking myself out of doing the film. And like by the time we sat down and recorded it, I was a pure stress nugget because I was like, do I sound like a dick? And Ross was like, no. And then we sounded like dicks. So we just went, no, that's cool.
It just didn't turn out good. There's been a few we've done away, but this was the most shambolic. And I was like, yeah, we can't put this out.
No, absolutely not. So, with Stranger Things 5 on the horizon.
What?
There's something strange approaching.
Hello.
So with Stranger Things 5 on the horizon, we were like, let's dive into the world of telly and talk about why Stranger Things is a 10 out of 10 would watch again. Now, Kibosh and V for Vendetta has actually worked out so well on our favour because we were just going to put out this mammoth episode of like all 4 seasons, plus the play, plus theories of what we think is going to happen. And then we were like, no one's going to listen to us for 3.5 hours. Like, no one's doing that. Instead of doing one big mammoth episode where everybody looks at the runtime and goes, guys, you do not have enough fans to be releasing a 3.5 hour podcast.
Yeah, who the fuck do we think we are?
Do you know what I mean? We're giving you it in 2 parts. So today's episode, we're going to do season 1 and season 2. Next week's episode, we're going to do season 3 and 4, touch on the play, and then hit out with some theories of what we think is going to happen in season 5.
We can call that versus 3. Rangers Boogaloo.
When a stranger has a theory. So that basically we've just mapped out the rest of November for you. Part 1 and 2 here, 3 and 4 next week, and then Stranger Things drops
the 26th, so I believe so. Yeah, we've done the maths right. So before we get into the actual TV show that is Stranger Things season 1. I want to go into a bit about, like, before, like, the planning and that of this, right? Because I love when they talk about, like, how they came up with this and that.
I love that. I just feel like every episode recently you've just been like, and I have so much backstory to give.
I like a backstory. I love a backstory, me, aye. So the Duffer Brothers, for people who don't know, creators of Stranger Things.
Wow.
Yep. So creators Matt and Ross Duffer. So when they were trying to pitch this to production companies, they basically framed it as, what if Steven Spielberg made a Stephen King movie?
Excellent, sounds great.
A lot of the networks were hesitant about an adult-themed supernatural mystery with child actors. I mean, we've had a fucking massive influx in supernatural stuff.
Do you know what I mean?
But Netflix obviously took a punt on it, and for people that know, it's probably the biggest show on Netflix.
I feel like this is the show that like really put Netflix on the map for like, this is what Netflix can do. Like, there is no understating how huge Stranger Things was when it came out and still remains. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember when that first season came out and everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, this is amazing. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think it was the first one, but this was the one that really started, like, all the premieres and, like, especially after the first season, like, this just got huge everywhere.
100%.
I thought especially with Netflix before, it was very centralised to each country.
Yes.
They all had like their big hits, but this kind of just took over everywhere. Because I don't remember a buzz at the time. Like, I don't think we really thought much of it until we watched it and we're like, this is phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember there being posters like all over like Glasgow Central being like, oh, Stranger Things coming out, and we were like, all right, cool. I mean, we'll give it a swatch. But then I remember when you and me sat down and we were like, fuck it, we'll watch an episode and see what it's like.
Yeah.
And we finished the whole thing in a day. It was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And rewatching season 1, I think it really holds up. I really don't think.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get into it when we talk about the later seasons, but I really don't think season 1 is dated at all.
No.
Like, it's not like you can tell this came out then.
Yeah, oh no. they've done great and everything, like the setting and making it like the 80s and that. Like, I can't say it, I wasn't about the 80s, but like people that I've spoke to, is that it really feels like a small town in America in the 80s.
And all the references in it, like, we'll probably talk about that in a minute as well, but like the amount of references from things in the 80s that they have like crowbarred in, and everything just makes sense and it's great. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, you're definitely right there. So the series was originally titled Montauk and planned to be set in Montauk, New York. There are real life conspiracy theories involving government experiments there.
Oh really?
Hence why they were going to link it. Like, there was a reported Montauk project. I don't know much about that. Never really looked that up.
That sounds like something you would know everything about. You love random shit like that.
Aye, but there's different. If it's like aliens and all that, I'm not really bothered. I don't care about that.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know what this is. I could be totally wrong, but hey ho.
So does this mean by next episode when you've looked up, you'll be like, guys, you'll never guess?
Yeah. So this was originally going to be an anthology series, like revolving like all the special powers that Elle has in that. Because she was originally meant to just disappear after the first season.
Oh right, okay.
Hence why she disappears in the first season.
Yeah.
But it was all meant to be like that, like shadow government, like conspiracy stuff. But I think once they filmed it and they showed it to people, is that no, this like. You can't just get rid of this cast for this.
No, they caught lightning in a bottle with this cast of child actors because every single one of them is great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, again, we've spoke about it on previous episodes about like child actors, and some of them are believable and some aren't. And I feel like the Stranger Things kids are like a baseline on these are the kind of kids you want.
Yeah, that's the standard now, yeah, 100%. First season debuted in July 2016, and as I said, to immediate critical acclaim.
100%.
Like, massive, like, word of mouth success, and like it just kind of has took over the world ever since.
Absolutely. I mean, Asda has a Stranger Things collection.
Yeah. Everywhere has it. Like, you can't go anywhere without seeing anything Stranger Things related.
Totally. Primark's like making its buck the now. Do you know what I mean?
And like really cementing Netflix, like, and kind of making a more bigger push for them for making original content.
Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure The Crown and all that had been out before Stranger Things, but like, it was, I don't know, like, it was, I never felt like back, it was more just like, oh, you went on Netflix for the films. Like, I feel like you weren't really interested in like the original series.
Oh yeah,
kind of
Netflix wasn't really, I don't think it had its own studio in it. They had a habit of like buying up stuff.
Yes.
And claiming it's a Netflix thing, but it wasn't their creation. Whereas now they actually give money. They're one of the very few that will take a chance on stuff. Fair enough. They're very brutal in that if it doesn't hit a certain target, like that show or movie's like just off.
Oh, 100%. There was a show, is it called First Love Bites or First Bite or something? And it was about like a teenage vampire couple and they need to fight werewolves, and it literally had one season. It was so shit, but do you know that way, like, do you know when you're watching something and it's shite, but it's like, oh, why? Like, you're watching it to slag it.
Yeah.
I remember sitting with my pal watching the whole of that season, and then we found out that it got cancelled as soon as it got to the finale, and we were like, well, that's 8 hours we're never getting back. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like, even like some of their more like successful ones, like, what, I can't remember what one, but I remember it's not Ozark, but it's the other one.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you're on about.
And I remember like all over Instagram, like loads of people were like, I can't believe they've cancelled that. And I was like, I don't have a clue what you're talking about, but you know what I mean? But it was one of those ones.
I mean, look at that chaos. That was getting rave reviews.
I like that.
And just because not enough people watched it, like, they are very cutting like that. They're not going to spend money if it's not going to. And that's the whole thing. They need subscribers.
100%.
I mean, I don't think they do now. They're massive. Netflix, obviously, it's the biggest streaming thing.
That's why they're doing that thing, though, of like, when Stranger Things 5 comes out, it's like part 1, part 2, finale, so that you will keep paying that Netflix dollar.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
just to get another, like, another monthly fee out you. But that's a business practice, I suppose. You can't really blame the Duffer Bros for making stuff to make you want to keep it.
Yeah.
So that's just a bit of the backstory of Stranger Things, so we can carry on.
Stunning. So I'll just give like a brief wrap up and then we'll get into it, right? So the first season takes place in Hawkins, Indiana, 1983. Will is taken by the Demogorgon and is presumed missing or dead. I know. His friends meet up with 11, and with the help of Joyce and Hopper, They go about trying to find Will and uncovering the secrets of Hawkins' lab.
Yeah.
Dun dun. First off the bat, these kids were so fucking cute in this season. Like, see, when we were back rewatching it, I was like, like the little cutie patooties.
Yeah.
And it is crazy. Like, we've watched these kids grow up. Do you know what I mean? Like, we watched them when they were absolute wee babas in season 1. And now season 5's about to come out. And they're all like in their mid-20s. Millie Bobby Brown's married with kids. Like, it's crazy. And like, obviously the older ones too. But it does feel mad, like, when we watch season 1, just like watching like Finn Wolfhard alone, just watching him get longer and lankier, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of shows have that problem when you hire kids into it, is that you can't keep them there for years and just film.
Yeah.
But like, it's funny when you say it, because it's like Harry Potter and all that, and all, is it they just grow out the role. And
they're all like 30 by the last one and all that.
They might be like 15 in this, and they're all like grown men and women.
100%.
How are you going to pass this off? But you just need to suspend the disbelief.
100%.
Like,
that it is mad though that it's taken, like, Stranger Things in 5 seasons has taken their entire like childhood to early adulthood.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I wish it was me. Fucking, they're made now.
100%. This is the thing. We were talking about this the other day. Is like, I really hope the Stranger Things kids. I mean, they've got bank. They're fine.
Yeah.
But I hope they go down the same kind of route as what like Daniel Radcliffe's done since Harry Potter's over, and same with Elijah Wood since Lord of the Rings. Like, they can be really choosy with their roles, and I hope they make the correct choices. Do you know what I mean? I think the second Millie Bobby Brown gets out of this Netflix deal, I could see her actually doing something good, because Netflix has put her in a lot of pish. But I also could just imagine her being like, oh, I'm away back to my animal sanctuary, and here's some more skincare, and here's a pair of shorts. Do you know what I mean? Wire in. Like,
I say, they don't at the end of, like, I mean, if anybody else had this career at any age, they'd be buzzing.
Absolutely.
It just so happens that, not the start of their careers, but very early in, so good on them.
100%. It's mad as well going back and rewatching season 1 and just seeing how many like iconic moments are just in the first season. Because there's things that I thought were kind of all over the place, but I mean, you've got like the alphabet wall with the fairy lights and stuff. Obviously all the parts where they're on the bikes and like they flip the van and stuff like that. Even just like 11 in the first season with like the dress and the nosebleed and stuff. And I do feel like the first season really has that Stephen King vibe about it. I do feel gets lost as the seasons go on. Do you know what I mean?
I do agree with you. I mean, the first season's kind of like every 80s hit into it. Like, it has parts from like E.T., whereas like they're trying to hide like the alien, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, they hide 11 for everybody else. I mean, as you said, Stephen King, it's like Carrie, like, was it Firestarter, where it's just this kid with like telekinetic powers.
Yeah.
Is that they just hit on everything that's cool about the 80s.
Absolutely. Like, even seeing the Demogorgon for the first time, like, they really built the Demogorgon up in like the coolest way. You know what I mean? Like, see even the bit where it's Steve's house. That it's Steve's house and it's Barb and those two arseholes and stuff, and there's like the Demogorgon in the corner. It's fucking nuts. Like, it looks so great. And what was also super satisfying, now listen, they keep saying that the Duffer Brothers have had this planned out since like day one, right? I don't buy it for a second, right?
Well, they couldn't have, because they totally changed the whole thing of the show.
Exactly. So, but what I do think is cool is obviously knowing what we know now, watching it then, every time there's like a Demogorgon attack, there is like obviously the music for the Demogorgon, but also like the clock chimes. So it's like, oh my god, it's been Vecna the whole time. But obviously you don't realise that until you've watched season 4. So it is really interesting. Like, they have obviously thought long term, but do you get what I mean? Like, they've been able to chime in and out.
Yeah, and that's really, like, it's really one of this TV show's strengths is that, like, I think obviously they've had to make stuff on the fly because
Yes.
stuff just on paper wouldn't work, but I think they've kept to like the core of the story. This is what they wanted to do, and like there's like we will not change. Like they'll have like non-negotiables. Like we will not change these, but we can try and change other things to fit into it. Which, like, yeah, there's too many TV shows. This does suffer from it a little bit in the later seasons where, like, tonally it gets very different and like it just a lot of them just become like a mess themselves. But although this does have its moments, but it still is like a really tight story.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, like, the amount of things Stranger Things is like brought more into pop culture or brought back into pop culture. Like Dungeons and Dragons has obviously always been big, but
Yeah.
now it's huge. And like people who have never played Dungeons and Dragons are now kind of dabbling in it, you know?
Yeah, that and also like, I mean, even for the internet culture we live in, like people are making a living playing Dungeons and Dragons now. When
Totally.
although they would have probably still done it online, but they would not have had the impact that it's had.
No.
Like Stranger Things, I mean, God, I got the starter set. Remember, still have no idea how to play it, but it was just one of those things. Is that that looks really cool. Then when you've the TV show plays like a Dungeons and Dragons like campaign, is it? God, like this is so interesting when you think about it, like most fantasy is, but they've just had it out ways. This is D&D, by the way. Is it
Absolutely.
amazing?
Even like just going into casting, like even bringing back Winona Ryder. Do you know what I mean? Like now Winona Ryder is my woman, my God. Like if Jane Fonda is God, Winona Ryder is Jesus to
Yeah.
me. Do you know what I mean? But Winona Ryder, by this point in her career, hadn't really made a lot in the middle, like, and was more kind of known for her earlier stuff and the fact that she was a shoplifter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
she kind of went a bit quiet.
exactly. And then I feel like, I mean, genius casting choice because, like, Winona Ryder was like an 80s, 90s it girl. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, they see with some of the cast list, they know fine well like who they're getting it.
Absolutely. Like, going into later seasons, you've got Sean Astin as Bob from the
Yeah.
Goonies. Do you know what I mean? But Lord of the Rings, obviously, but
Yeah,
Goonies,
Carrie Elwes just basically fucking Robin Hood and all that. I mean,
100%.
like they knew fine well.
Princess Bride?
Yeah, aye, it's Robin Hood to me. Come
Aye.
on, but like they knew fine well what they were doing. Like, Dave, no, it just so happens to piss off.
Aye. Don't talk shit. I mean, Linda Hamilton's about to be in
Yeah.
the 5th season. Do you know what I mean?
Like, you don't get Samwise Gamgee just on a whim. I'm sorry, you don't.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Like, so do you want to talk about the kids and that then? And what were the main part of this TV show?
The little babies.
Yeah. So you have Mike, Dustin, Lucas, Will, and 11.
11.
Obviously, they kick it off with their D&D campaign. Bit of foreshadowing there.
Dustin is the light of my life. Like, Dustin is hands down the best character in Stranger Things, and I will die on a hill for that.
Oh no, 100%
I
is.
love him. He is so stinking cute. And then even as like the seasons go on, like, oh, just big Dustin fan, big,
Yeah.
huge.
So they consider themselves a party, which is what obviously very D&D related. So, but I was looking up like who each one would be within the party. So apparently Mike would be the leader. Obviously Mike's the top boy. Dustin would be the logic. So I don't know if that's the bard or what. I don't know the comparisons to D&D, but this is what people have said.
Yeah.
Then you have Lucas as like the pragmatist, the skeptic of it, which he is to begin with.
100%.
And then 11's just the fuck
mage.
shit upper. Aye.
That's what they do it in the show. They call it like as 11's our mage, Will the wise, like yada yada.
All
like
the wiser.
Well-
Not with that haircut, mate.
oh, he gets done so dirty.
Yeah.
Every season, his hair just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
I'm convinced he's pissed off the makeup people, man.
Like their role in the first season is basically keep 11 safe.
Yeah.
And like basically just them trudging along trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And the
Where's
most
my pal?
yeah, and the most little kids way you can imagine. Like it's just I don't know how they're able to like act so maturely yet still pull off being a kid. Do you know? Does that sound stupid? Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Like, yeah. Like they're having big adult like ideas and
Yeah.
thoughts in this, but then like 2 minutes later they'll be fighting over like a bar of Three Musketeers or something like
or
that.
they're sitting talking about farting or something, just something utter ridiculous.
100%.
Like, they've really managed to mesh it well, and the cast in that, I mean, they're just great together.
Absolutely.
So the next group we'll talk about is the teens. So that one is Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan. You include Barb and the two pals, but they're not really part of the team.
Remember all the Justice for Barb shit?
Yeah.
That was huge, and everyone was like, "Oh, Justice for Barb." She's in 2 fucking episodes. Like, do you know that way? Like, when we were rewatching it, I was like, Barb didn't make that much of an impact for there to be a whole fucking campaign for Barb.
Didn't they end?
I mean, I get it. Like, Nancy absolutely pied her for Steve, but with hair like that, you know,
Yeah.
like.
So you're pretty much your teens in. So Steve and Nancy, they're together in the start of this, aren't they? Am I wrong?
Yeah, they've just started going out.
Yeah, they're kind of in like the throes of passion, if you will.
Aye.
Whereas Bob's obviously been, her and Nancy have been pals forever at the way it feels.
Yeah.
And she's just a bit, I mean, Steve's always been known as a bit of a douche.
Yeah, Steve's like your stereotypical, like, cool guy,
Yeah.
but total dickhead about
Yeah.
it. And that is one thing that I know will kind of obviously keep going over when they go into later seasons, but Steve's arc of being arsehole to saviour,
Yeah.
40 out of 10.
Which I find funny because he wasn't meant to be in it.
Really?
He was meant to die at the end of this season. He was going to get his comeuppance because
he's been a dick.
he is
the whole
such an
time.
arsehole in this, yeah. But I think they just liked him so much on screen as that, no, we can do something here. And it's worked out because he's probably like propelled himself with like nearly #1 spot of favourites for people.
Absolutely. I mean, my TikTok is already full of like, if Steve dies this season, we march at dawn kind of vibes. Like,
yeah, so you have those two, like, Love's young thing.
yeah.
Then you have Jonathan, who is, I can understand, like, he's going through some shit because, like, Will gets kidnapped and
Yeah,
like,
of course, your wee brother's away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
and your life does just seem a bit of a mess anyway. Like,
Yeah.
the family home isn't exactly the greatest, let's put it that
Yeah.
way. But yeah, he's kind of like the loner, geeky.
I wouldn't even say geek, I'd say creep. He's really creepy this season.
I don't think he's creepy. I just think that, like, there is the moment where he's taking photos, right? But
Aye!
so he was out in the woods looking for his brother, which
Aye.
would make sense because he did like going to the woods and that. You see in flashbacks.
Castle Byers?
Yes. But then he stumbles across the party at Steve's house and
And they're all in the pool.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, Jonathan.
photos are taken, which can't really justify it.
Yeah, Jonathan, you creepy bastard.
Yeah, like, totally deserve getting his camera busted. And I do think they forgive him far too quickly.
I have thoughts and opinions on Jonathan, right? I feel like out of the entire cast and the entire plotline of all 4 seasons, I feel like they've never been able to pin Jonathan down. Like, Jonathan seems to change drastically every fucking season. Like, do you know that way? Like, with Steve's character in the first season, Steve goes from like jock arsehole to like savior and helper.
Yeah.
And then as it all goes on, he kind of grows and gets bigger, and
Yeah.
there's more layers to Steve, like an onion. Whereas Jonathan just, instead of showing me his onion layers, he just changes vegetables every season. Like this season, he's like the dark, mysterious, creepy brother looking for his brother, right? Second season, he's just all about trying to be with Nancy because like blah blah blah. Third season, he's a bit of a nag. Like he's a bit like kind of like Nancy's always right, and he's like, no, it's all right, Nancy. And then the fourth one, he's just like a mad stoner. Like I don't know, like his character is never as fleshed out as you'd want it to be.
See, I feel that they've kind of kept him the same for so long that they thought, right, we need a change because season 4 is his, like, just, he's a total different person. And I get it.
100%.
You're out in California and that, you
might as well, you might as well imbibe.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of need to have the stoner because it's just what they do, isn't it? But it's just, I just don't, it doesn't feel, it's too much of a change. Like,
Yes.
it's like breakneck pace, or is it slow down? Like,
Aye.
we don't need him to be like this. But I think, I mean, see, for I don't think the character's that great. I do think that Charlie Heaton, out of the teenagers and the kids, he had the most acting to do.
I agree. I do agree. I kind of wish Jonathan had the same care and attention that Steve's character gets, because you can tell that Steve gets all this time put on him because he's a fan favourite, right? Steve's been a fan favourite since season 1, like cemented in season 2. But I kind of wish like Jonathan's character had been given more twists and turns, and not just I am Will's brother, I am Nancy's boyfriend, now I'm a stoner. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, as I say, like they've tried like so many different things, and the first 2 seasons it worked. Then it's just hopefully they could bring it back, but because obviously I think the last they're all going to be together again,
Yeah.
so hopefully it kind of brings out the decent side of Jonathan, if you know what I mean.
I'm here for it. We'll hit on Nancy as well, because like we've not really had a chance to talk about Nancy because we've been too busy talking about Steve. But like Steve and his hair. But like Nancy, I feel like, and watching Nancy this season, never mind her overall arc across all 4 seasons, right? Watching her like at the very start being like very uptight and like, no, I need to study, and then obviously she then feels guilt because Barb goes missing when she was supposed to be with Barb, and then just immediately watching her being like, yeah, no, fuck this, like I'm on board, like we need to find Barb, we think the same thing's taking Will, and like Nancy's a smart cookie, and it is so, I understand it was the 80s, right? But like it is so frustrating as the seasons go on that people aren't like, oh yeah, of course, Nancy, whatever you want, because Nancy always knows what the fuck she's talking about. Do you know what I mean?
All of them, she's got her shit together.
100%.
Like, I'm including the adults here.
Yes. But like, I do think like Nancy this season, I think this season is a good setup to Nancy for the rest of the season. If you get me, like, you can tell by the end of this she's not like finished, if you know what I mean. No, big fan. The trailer for season 5, Nancy's hair, I would like that on my head. Like, I'm not joking. I'm going to take a picture of Nancy to my hairdresser and be like, fix me. Good thing my hairdresser's your cousin.
Right, so now that's the teens. We'll get into the adults. For the adults, in this season, there's 3 main ones. So you have Dr. Brenner.
Yes.
You
Papa! You are like Papa!
You have Hopper.
Boos!
And you have Joyce.
Hey!
So basically, this season is more about Joyce.
Yes.
Like, obviously, her son Will's missing, and it's her going Tonto trying to find him.
Yeah.
And basically try to not even get over the fact that he's dead, but you're just watching a woman breaking down. Up until she's like, no, this is the right.
Yeah, but our breakdown is swift and quick, and then she gets the lights, and you're like, no, cool, she's on the ball. Like, and
she's not on the ball. She's fucking mental.
Yeah,
but
everyone thinks she's fucking nuts, but you know, the vindication I would be feeling at the end, being like, me and those fairy lights.
I mean, Winona Ryder just absolutely steals this season.
Listen, because Winona Ryder is God. Well, Jesus. Like, Winona Ryder is great. She's never been shite. Like, she might be in shite. She's never shite. And so I have no issues with Winona Ryder. I'm like, you fly, my pretty fly. But also, like, just even her, see when she goes in the cupboard with the fairy lights and she's like, well, and the lights start going and it's just like, oh, babe. But even the bit, there's in the episode where they find the fake body, because obviously Hawkins' lab are trying to cover up that Will's in there, you know. Even that episode, she's so like sure, like, no, I'm right, that is not, and it's only when Hopper thingy, like, because Hopper's been palming her off like for the whole start of this season, and it's only after that episode he's like, right, no, fuck it, I'm in, cool, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, like, for Winona Ryder, I mean, this, as you said, this has just brought her back. Like, she's massive again. I mean, that's a bit of an injustice to say. It's fucking Winona Ryder. She's a household name for, I mean, that's got on 40 years now.
100%. And she still looks beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, she's one of the very few actresses that have kind of like thinged all generations. She'll be
Yes.
known from people from their 60s like until kids now.
Absolutely.
Which is it's a pretty like damn good achievement to have.
100%. 100%.
So, shall we get into them?
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys and thems. Has anyone listened to the new Lily Allen album, West End Girl? Because if you have, you will understand why David Harbour is a touchy subject in this fucking household. But I will not say anything else about it. I'm just saying, boo, David Harbour, boo.
Aye, so fuck David Harbour, but Hopper, fucking American hero.
Oh my God.
Legend.
What is it? Mornings are for coffee and contemplation. Yeah. Excellent work.
So Hopper is, for people who haven't seen the show and using this as guidance, don't know why the fuck you would do that, but cool.
There's probably about 40 million podcasts doing this exact same thing.
Doing it better, I might add.
But thanks for coming here, you
Aye.
know?
So Hopper's the sheriff of Hawkins, who...
chain smoking, whiskey drinking, coffee slapping.
Chain smoking, alcoholic shagger.
Aye.
That's probably the best way to put him.
100%.
And that's just David Harbour.
100%. But like, in this season, immediately as soon as you meet Hopper, you're like, cool. Because at the start of the season, they're all like, oh, nothing happens in Hawkins. Like, it's pure boring here. And then it's like, nope. Like, government lab.
So Hopper in the first season, a bit of a sad past, if you will.
Poor man it.
You find out about his little kid who... cancer, I believe it is.
I think it's cancer.
Yeah, I can't remember the type of cancer it is.
Does it matter?
No, sad enough. But I know, like, they get into a bit more, and I think those books and that get into it. I'm not sure.
You bought me one of the books for Christmas. It was after Stranger Things 4 came out, and they did 3 fiction books about Hopper, Eddie, and I think Papa.
That might be right, aye.
One of them. But you bought me the Hopper one for Christmas, and that book's basically just about when Hopper was a cop in the city, when he was in New York.
In the big bad city.
In the big city. And obviously about his, like, mental things happening there, plus kind of going into his wife and his kids and stuff. So, yeah, basically at the start of season 1, he's came from New York here because obviously he's lost his daughter. He's not with his wife anymore. And, like, the other police are like, oh... this ain't like the big city. And he's like, yeah, that's great. Like, I just want to, like, drink my coffee and have a whiskey and smoke, like, 70 snout per episode. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
In this season, you're seeing a guy come to terms. I mean, up until about season 3, you're seeing a guy come to terms with what's happened, and, like, obviously losing a kid would be horrific, but I think it's played really well. Like, you see it, for all much we don't like David Harbour at the moment.
Fucking David Harbour.
Like, he is Jim Hopper. I'm sorry, like
100%.
I can't think of nobody else suits that more than him.
Absolutely not. And he is so good in Stranger Things, and him and Joyce have this really great, like, chemistry, which obviously gets reflected as the seasons go on. But I just mean, like, they're such great, like, scene partners together. And even when Hopper's trying to palm it off and be like, shut up, your Wayne's no missing, he'll be at your pal's house, and she's like, I'm fucking telling you, like,
I mean, David Harbour has this weird thing that he looks like he could be a lovable idiot, or he could absolutely punch your head in.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
his face just changes, and it's like this mad weird intensity that he can get. And it's like, how, like, just that, like, it's just that facial change, and that's it. It's like, holy shit, like, that's amazing.
I do think David Harbour's a good actor. I mean, he's been in enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's been in Hunters, like, as, like, many side characters. He's been in loads of plays and all this kind of thing. But right now, he fucked over Lily Allen, therefore prick. Do you know what I mean?
I do think this show really propelled him, though, because...
absolutely.
And a lot, as you say, a lot of stuff he's been in, he wasn't noticeable.
No.
But we still can't remember the name of that movie we watched. We're like, that's fucking Jim Hopper.
Aye, but is he knowing, like, Den of Thieves or something? Or, like, is it Taken or something? It's something like that. It's like Den of Thieves, Heat, Taken, that kind of vibe of movie. And he's, like, the kind of side dodgy guy.
Yeah, he was a cop in it.
Yeah.
But I just can't remember, but I don't want to look up. It's very fun trying to figure it out.
Aye. Oh no, we've been trying to figure this out for about 2 weeks now, guys. So if anybody knows what the fuck we're talking about, get it in the comments.
Aye, it's Hopper that's kind of dealing more with the Hawkins Lab, the
Yes.
NHL. There's a weird name for it.
I
Okay. But like he's more to deal with the scientists and all that before the kids really get involved in all that.
And that, do you know, that's one of my favourite bits of season 1 is when he gets into the lab, because he's obviously, he's like, something fuck, he's a foot
Yeah.
right? And he comes in and he's like talking to the police and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm from that division. And they're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, and like just punches him in the face.
I just levels him.
It's so good. It's so good. But like, I do love that, especially in this season, Hopper really is this like really unpredictable like live wire of a character. Do you know what I mean? Like he, to be fair, as the seasons go on, they change his live wire like maverick cop ways to just being like a hot-headed prick. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Do you know what I mean?
He's probably the one that gets done the dirtiest.
No, I still stand by Jonathan.
No.
I still stand by Jonathan.
We won't get into this. That'll be next week's episode, but I have a lot to say about him in the later seasons.
And season 3 specifically.
Yes. Like, no, he's definite. And in my opinion, he's definitely the worst written.
Yeah.
And like from season 3 upwards, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll save that for next week.
Yeah, I'll give it next week's argument. So last but not least to the adults, and I'm surprised we didn't add him in earlier, 80s action star Matthew Modine.
Yeah.
Also known as Papa.
Papa! You are like Papa! Which, I'm not joking, I think we say that daily. Do you know what I mean?
So,
Papa, I want egos. That's terrible. But 11.
So, Matthew Modine, a.k.a. Dr. Brenner.
Oh, and he's such a good bad guy. I have such a soft spot for 80s bad guys. I know obviously it's modern, but shut up, bear with me, right? 80s bad guys that are like slick. Do you know what I mean? Like he's got the perfect like pomodoro hair and like the smart suits and all this, but he's just this like evil bastard. Do you know what I mean?
See, it's funny because he's evil. Like, you'd know he's evil, but he doesn't do anything evil in the show, in the first season.
Yeah. It's more, it's just his general
vibe.
Like
he gets it. He has the look of an evil bastard, and Matthew Modine just plays it beautifully.
Absolutely.
Like, it's funny how it's like he's able to convey to people, like, especially when he's looking at 11 and that, if they're disappointed. It's just the way he looks across them, and he's just looking right through them. It's like, holy shit, like,
100%.
this guy's phenomenal.
100%. And obviously it's through Matthew Modine that we get like the base lore of like 11 that will obviously be embellished upon over the next 4 seasons. So obviously Papa has been training 11 on like her telekinesis or telepathic ways, but still at this point we're kind of like, but why? Do you know what I mean? And in this season, you know the Demogorgon and 11 are connected, but you don't really know why.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, base lore of 11, we find out that Papa was testing LSD on pregnant women to see if that would, like, spark up telekinetic powers in the babies.
Basically, MK Ultra is what they were trying to plan.
What's that?
It's when they gave people LSD in the 70s and that. No, the 60s, that just to see what would happen.
That's like the start of Pineapple Express, isn't it? Right, okay, yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, so Papa's like giving pregnant women LSD and mushies and that and being like, tell me you have a telekinetic kid. And obviously we find out that the Upside Down is connected to Hawkins' lab at this point, but everything's very... like
hush.
Yeah. And I know I said earlier on, but we do hear the continuous clock ticking sounds anytime somebody says the Upside Down or the Demogorgon comes up and all this kind of good stuff. So season 1 ends with 11 taking out the Demogorgon and disappearing into a cloud of Demogorgon dust. Hopper is being taken away by the men in suits from the lab, and Will coughs up a lovely wee slug down the sink. Now, the last episode of season 1, if you don't cry at that, you are a heartless bastard. I remember stopping like a bitch the first time we watched it. And even now, I want to say we're on like our 4th, 5th rewatch. Tears. Fucking tears. These, honestly, I could talk about the Stranger Things kids all day. But honestly, like, the fact that on multiple rewatches you still get the same emotional impact every time, motherfucker, 10 out of 10.
This is one of these shows, see if it ended there, it would still be perfect.
100%. If it was just a standalone, absolutely.
Yeah, like, I could have totally bought into that just being a limited series, one and done. And this would still be class.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now we move on to season 2, where we start off with Hopper's found 11 and they're living in Hopper's cabin. The kids are obviously devastated that 11's not there, but they're trying to make their way through. Will is trying to get over being stolen by the Demogorgon. And we have the introduction of 3 new characters. We have Bob, Billy, and Billy's wee sister Max.
So, yeah, including those 3, there's also a new doctor in town.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him, yeah.
Yeah, he's a more, I mean, he is ahead of the evilness, but he seems like more...
He's more the charming one, you know?
He's more chill, I would say.
Yeah. I think in this season, like at the start, he's that kind of smarmy evil, if you get me. Like, whereas Dr. Brenner was like cold and is like, right. He's kind of the more smarmy people person.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, he's kind of been shown as like, oh, he's just this evil scientist doctor. But as it goes on, he's kind of just, I think he kind of accepts as that, like, this is like bad shit's happened here, but somebody needs to be in charge of this.
Yes.
Like, it does come across as he does care about them, but he also realises what he's doing's not good. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of, it's a necessary evil job he has to do.
Yeah, totally. And in this season, Dustin has teeth.
Aye.
He gets his teeth. And just, again, I know I said I love Dustin for season 1, but just as every season goes on, I'm like, I love you, Dustin. You're great. Like, Dustin is like, you just want him to be your pal. Do you know what I mean? Or like, again, like Nancy says in this season, like, oh, you were always my favourite of my brother's friends. Like, he's funny, he's sweet, he just wants to figure everything out. But Dustin is a pain in the arse this season because he finds Dart.
Yeah.
Now, if we are finding weird, slimy animals in Hawkins, let's not take them in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he like immediately finds Dart and is like, oh, D'Artagnan, look at my wee pet. And then it all goes fucking horribly wrong from there.
Yeah, so the kids in this season, it's like, they're all basically trying to get over, try to figure out what the fuck happened in season 1. Like, what is Will okay? Is basically everything going to be okay?
Yeah, where's 11?
Yeah. It gets kind of interrupted with the arrival of Max, who Dustin and Lucas kind of have the hots for her. Like,
yeah, they both fancy her, try to chat her up. No,
so it's about those two kind of try to compete for her attention.
Yeah.
Whereas Mike's kind of, he's just gutted that 11's away because that's his love interest. And Will's just basically trying to no-go mental, essentially.
100%. I do remember at the time thinking it was weird, like, obviously, like, they're all kids, right? But obviously, like, you have a love interest, like, every season, but it's, like, a child love, if you know what I mean. Like, it's there's nothing weird. It's just like, oh, I really like you, and we're kids, and I want to be your bird. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, nothing weird. But I remember at the time when season 2 came out, and there was all, like, the interviews with the kids and stuff, and they were really, like, all over Mike and 11 being like, oh my God, like, this was your first kiss ever. And it was just a bit intrusive. And I was like, guys, calm the fuck down.
Millie Bobby Brown's had a terrible time with the paparazzi and that through her whole career.
Yeah, when do you want to do the Millie Bobby Brown thing? Will we just do it now?
Yeah, it's an absolute disgrace what's happened to that lassie.
Honestly, like, I do feel like you forget how young she actually is because she's been around for so long.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, and I remember this season and probably season 3 as well, the kind of discourse around her was that she was just this like bratty, attention stealing kid. Yeah. And it's like, she's 13, 14, excited about being in the biggest fucking show in the world. And they're allowed to be excited about it. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, oh, Millie Bobby Brown's a brat and yada yada. And then obviously the older she's gotten, God forbid the wee lassie dyes her hair. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the second she dyed her hair blonde, everyone was like, oh my God, she's a tramp. She's this, she's that. I was like, she's 18.
You're a fucking kid.
Do you know what I mean? And like, it was when she dyed her hair blonde. Now, to be fair, right? And this isn't a dig against her. This is a dig against her hairdresser. That was a terrible fucking job, right? It was the brassiest blonde with the worst tape and extensions you've ever seen in your life, right? But that's not on her. That's on her hairdresser, right? But there was like, it was the older she was getting, she came out in like more fitted dresses because obviously, like, when you're growing up, you're like, yeah, I want to look older or whatever. But like, she came out in like fitted dresses and the blonde with the extensions, and she was getting ripped apart by everybody. But good on her, she came out and was like, who the fuck are you talking about? She was like, I'm a Wayne and I'm doing my thing. Why are all you 40, 50-year-old men and women think you've got any opinion about what I'm doing? And everybody shut the fuck up and was like, sorry, Millie, sorry. Do you know what I mean? But I could totally see her after season 5 just being like, I'm fucking done, I'm away. Because she runs like an animal sanctuary. She's got her like skincare brand. She's got clothes now. She's obviously married with a kid now. And it's like, just leave the lassie alone.
Just let her do her thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, like, I do feel bad for Millie Bobby Brown because there was like an interview recently where she was like, I did feel like I had to quiet myself down in interviews as the seasons went on, because every time I said something, they would be like, oh, she's doing this. And then if I was quiet, they'd be like, oh, she's being a diva or stuff. And it's like, poor lassie, man.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like because she's main character, if you will.
I mean, from season 1, she's the breakout star.
Absolutely.
Like, her performance as Elle is, like, it's one of the best kid performances you're going to see.
Absolutely. And the rest of them don't really get the same amount of shtick that she does. Like, Sadie Sink is somehow seen as more like serious. Like, I know she was in The Whale and stuff like that, and good for her. And the All Too Well music video, 10-minute version, thank you. But like, she's obviously like going down the more kind of serious route, if you will. Whereas I feel like Millie Bobby Brown has been trapped in this like Netflix contract.
Yeah.
She's made Stranger Things, which is a great. Enola Holmes, that was it. Madam or what?
The Damsel,
that was it.
Terrible.
100%. And I just feel like Netflix has just been throwing her in a lot of pish. Oh, the one with Chris Pratt, the robot one as well.
Electric State.
Yeah, that was pish. But like, I hope she gets out and either makes something really good or just chills out. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've done enough, babe. You're fine.
Like Netflix is kind of, for all it made her career, like, it stalled her career horrifically.
Absolutely.
I feel with her performances at Elle, she could have went on and like far bigger and better things than what she's done. Fair enough. She's made her money in that, right? If that's what you're bored about, fair enough. But my God, like, Damsel, Enola Holmes, like, she's better than that.
I totally agree.
Like,
totally agree.
If that's going to be your body of work just because you signed I don't know how long a deal is, or if it's a movie thing, but my God, somebody break her out that.
100%. Save Millie Bobby Brown.
Like, you can't just be trapped to. That's something you do at the end of, not the end of your career, but when you're later on in your career, do that. I mean, Adam Sandler done it.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Marvel guys as well. Like, Samuel L. Jackson's on like a 10-movie deal.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, actors at that stage, you know, can be like, I can't bother, 10 movies, perfect. That's my kitchen paid for. Do you know what I mean?
100%. It's just, I think it's a weird thing. I mean, it is. You had it in like the 50s and 60s, not as that you signed to a production company.
Yeah.
It's sort of creeping back, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
They should have the freedom to pick and choose what roles they want, especially given her performances. She should be able to do that.
I absolutely agree. Anyway, yeah, back justice for Millie Bobby Brown. Back to Stranger Things season 2. So obviously, like, the kids are pure devastated. Like, oh, pour one out for 11.
Yeah.
Where's my pal? Hopper has found 11 and is keeping her in his dad's cabin. Keeping her sounds a bit creepy. It's more like he's kind of, this is when he's in the process of becoming our like adopted dad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think he's hiding her from the government and that, because obviously all the kid on the first one, and he knows that it's not safe for her. So he does keep her, but it's not what you think. Like, this is with the bestest of intentions.
Yeah, he's just, because Hopper's such like a hot-headed arsehole, he's not really got the diplomacy, if you will.
Oh, there is not like a paternal bone in his body.
No, because like all Elle wants to do is go and see her pals, and
Yeah.
he's like, no, you can't leave, and they can't know you're alive. Again, for good reason, but it just goes about it horribly.
Yeah, like, it doesn't explain anything to her.
Nah.
And this is a kid that hasn't had like much human interaction, hasn't really had an education.
No.
So she struggles with the basic of things anyway, like, and like human like psychology and all that.
Yes.
So it's like, you need to do better, my man. But he's not got it in him. Like, that's not the type. It's not the type of person he is, so you can't blame him, but I'm also like, yeah, I'm blaming you for this.
Yeah. I do love Brat 11 though, and not in the Charlie XX sense of the word, right? But obviously, like, preteen hormones are quite a thing on their own, but to have preteen hormones mixed in with telekinesis is its own fucking issue that Hopper does not fucking deal with, do you know what I mean? But this is where we get the, you are like Papa. It's like, amazing. Yes. Perfect mark to that again.
Yeah, so 11 in this.
She's a fucking nightmare. Like, she's so up for rebelling against Hopper.
Yeah.
As we just said, Hopper doesn't deal with anything well at all. But instead of 11 being like, yeah, no, you're right, I probably shouldn't leave the house, she's like, no, I'm not taking your piss. Like, she is fully wrecking the joint. Like, there's a part where they're having an argument, and she's just like using her hands to like throw bookcases across and smashes the windows and all that. And it's like, wow, what a level here. Like,
yeah, what a tantrum.
100%. I do think though this is the season that sets up the multiple storylines of everyone, like, which kind of then becomes the Stranger Things way.
Yeah. So I've kind of broken it down into, also we've got the kids, the teenagers, and the adults. But even within those splinter as well.
Yeah,
so there's a whole load of shit here. So just bear with us and we'll try and trudge through this, huh?
Yeah.
So, as you said, 11 and Hopper's storyline, which then doesn't become 11 and Hopper, so it becomes something totally different.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that when we can, right? So, as you said, finds her, keeps her safe by the cabin, yada yada. She then finds paperwork that her mother and that is still alive. So she goes to visit her mother, and then doing so finds Callie.
Okay, I didn't know we were getting into this early, right? But no, right. So I remember when this season came out, and you and me, we were loaded with the flu. Mind, we were supposed to go to a Halloween party and ended up not being able to go, so we just stayed in and watched Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And I remember when we got to this episode and we were both like, well, that happened. Like, I think as a fandom, I think everybody knows the episode where 11 runs away and finds her sister is the weakest episode in the franchise. Not just the season, the franchise. But I do also think it suffers because, like you just said, every group splinters into their own storylines. There is so fucking much going on in season 2 that we don't have time. Like, me personally, I felt like, I was like, I don't care. I don't have fucking time to deal with this. But 11 runs away to Pittsburgh and finds her sister who was in the Brenner circus with her.
Yeah, that's a whole different story as to how she gets it.
Yeah. I get it. And the point of 11, I get that she like leaves, gets some independence, meets her sister, and then is just like, I'm good with this, because her sister's obviously a lot more down the dark path, if you will, than what 11's prepared to do, you know?
I get what they were doing. It is not done well whatsoever. This episode is so pointless.
Yeah.
Like, so she has to go all the way to Pittsburgh. Well, goes to visit her mother first, then ends up in Pittsburgh, just because you can, I suppose.
Yeah.
To meet her sister, who turns out, like she's basically just out for revenge.
Yeah.
Like
Rather than like kind of accepting Elle with like open arms and being like, oh, cool, class, like let's find out what happened to us. She more uses Elle's powers for like bad and like how to get revenge. And she's like straight up just wanting to like kill everybody that had anything to do with them in Hawkins' lab. Whereas Eleven's like, I don't know about that. But I do think this is the rare time where adding in new characters has blown up in their faces because so far there's been so many new characters like they've kind of cropped ahead per season.
Every season there's a new batch that come in and all of them have been great bar this.
Yeah. And I actually feel really bad for the actress who plays Callie.
I don't. I think she's terrible.
No, I just kind of feel like she's tarnished now by being in the worst episode. But again, I don't know if it's that the episode is bad or if it is that there's just so much going on that it's like, we don't have time for this side story. Like, we need to get the fuck back to Hawkins now. Do you know what I mean?
I just think they were trying to say, I think they were going to go a route of, like, there was going to be other kids.
Yeah.
Does get kiboshed in later seasons. Fair enough. I can understand if they didn't do that, why they done it.
Yeah.
But this is just such a out the blue random episode. And to dedicate a full episode to it is insane.
I agree.
Like, Elle doesn't need a full episode to discover this.
Yeah, to like find herself and discover that she has independence. Like the fact that she's got out the cabin and went to her Moz.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? But obviously I get that, like, I get the point of the episode is to be like, oh, look, Eleven's like got a new sense of style and she's got independence and she knows right from wrong and now she's ready to go back to Hawkins and save the boys and girls and yada yada. But like, nah. Like, I would so much rather spend another episode in Hawkins watching them than any of this. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, even the fact that this isn't a hot take, this is widely regarded, like widely known as the worst episode.
Absolutely.
Like, I think even the Duffer Brothers have came out and mentioned stuff about it in jest, so it's not exactly like we're not being controversial here for the sake of it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
But that 11's, she comes back and saves the day.
Yeah,
that's what 11 does. Like the first couple of seasons anyway, she comes in, saves the day. I mean, it makes sense. She's the only one that could kill fucking monsters.
Yeah, totally. And like this kind of sets up more like we add on to the 11 backstory, you know. But I still feel at this point that we're like, okay, we know she's connected to the Upside Down, and we know the Demogorgon / Mind Flayer doesn't like her. But we're still not really any clearer on why. Do you know what I mean? Which is fine. Yeah. There's another 2 seasons to go, you know?
Yeah. Right, so, do I get the kids?
Yeah.
I've broken the kids up as well, even further.
Yeah.
We've got Will Byers and the Mind Flayer.
100%.
So, yet again, Will Byers is the main victim of this season. Is that
victim?
fair?
That sounds so mean.
I mean, he is.
Yeah.
Like, the first 2 seasons, he has it rough.
100%.
So he's still, in this season, Will's still struggling to come to terms with being lost and
what
everything
the fuck
happened
to him? Do you know what I mean? And also, like, obviously, Will's still, like, coming to terms. Obviously, Mum's got a new boyfriend that, like, obviously they all kind of get on with and stuff. But Will in school is now known as, like, Zombie Boy because obviously to Hawkins, Will died.
Yeah, they had a funeral and everything.
Yeah. So, like, there's obviously all of that going on. And then, of course, the fucking Bob with the best of intentions is like, you know, I used to be really scared of clowns. And then I went up to a clown and said, you leave me alone. Yeah. So then Will tries to do it with the Mind Flayer and that just doesn't work at all. Yeah. Like, Will gets full on, like, Pazuzu possessed in the middle of the football field by the Mind Flayer. And it's like, oh, okay then, no problem.
So I've got that there. Is it following bad advice from Bob to face his fear? He just gets completely possessed. The Mind Flayer's like, all right then.
Like, is that right? No bother.
Because Will has episodes, that's what the kids call it. It's like flashbacks and like
flashes into.
So it's like he's still connected to the Mind Flayer somehow.
Into the Upside Down and stuff. Yeah.
Which in turn shows you, well, the Mind Flayer lives.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But The way to give shitty advice, that's going to be number one, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
But that's another one that still hits, like, see the way that episode is framed of, like, it's just Bob and Will in the car, and then when Will's getting ready to, like, square up to the mind flare,
Yeah.
and it's, like, all of the bits of the story and how it's just gone horribly
Yeah.
wrong. And what I think's really cool as well is they really do go down the, like, exorcist route with Will. Like, they call it, like, the spy within Will, because obviously, like, the mind flare's possessing him and can see what the fuck they're doing and yada yada. But then even, like, as they're trying to defeat it, they go down this, like, exorcist route with him. It's like this mini exorcism in the shed kind of thing. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, after he gets fully possessed, which is one of the coolest scenes in season 2.
Absolutely.
Like, it just like hits you like a train. They realise that the mind flare, i.e. whatever the fuck this is, hates the heat and loves the cold.
Yeah.
And, like, that you also sort of find out that it's like a hive mind situation going on.
Yeah, this is where we start touching on the hive mind stuff of, like, all the kind of dirt swirling about together and the vines alerting things and stuff. Yeah.
And also, what I think's really cool about this is that Mike's by his side, like, through the whole thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, me, Mike and Will.
Yeah. So the kids start off as one, then...
when they're all Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Then the Splinter again.
Yeah.
And it's just, from the first season where it's like all together, and that, it does work. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's like, it is weird to see them all just doing their own different thing, because you're expecting them to... Right, no, that's the party, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I think Stranger Things touches on growing up really beautifully. You know how, like, you are this one team, but then obviously the older you get and the more, again, they're at the age where, like, girls enter the program and all this kind of stuff, you know? So, like, Will and Dustin and Max become their own subsect of storyline, and Will is just trying to deal with fucking trauma, you know? Like, but I do think Stranger Things deals with growing up really well on, like, how kids deal with change and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, just, for all it's a science fiction, fantasy TV show, it touches on realistic elements that I'm just like, oh, you guys, stop making me cry.
Yeah. You want to get into the other kids then?
Okay, so we have Dustin, Lucas, and Max, which kind of touched on. Max is introduced as Mad Max in the arcade. Dustin and Lucas fancy her, trying to chat it up, but obviously Max and Lucas have more of a spark.
Yeah.
And Dustin has found Dart, which we then go on to find out is a fucking demodog.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. But I remember, like, the first time we saw the demodogs and it was like, oh shit, there's different variants. Do you know what I mean? But we also, and I don't know if I'm stepping on what you're about to say, but we also begin the Dustin and Steve of it all.
Yeah, their story arc ties in with the redemption of Steve.
Yeah, like, I love Dustin and Steve.
Yeah, this is the beginning of Babysitter Steve.
Oh.
So obviously their main thing is the demodog.
Yes.
They need to find Dart. They need to, like, they notice that there's more, like, demodogs and that, so they're basically trying to fight them off.
Yeah, and the tunnels under Hawkins and all this kind of stuff.
Like that, and it's like the junkyard is their big standoff.
Yes, that bit is so good. Yeah. That bit still looks so
cool.
Oh,
it's fantastic. I mean, these three plus Steve are kind of the comic relief this season.
Yes, absolutely.
Dustin and Steve are just beautiful together.
I love them. Steve's like telling him how to do his hair, and it's like, when it's damp, 3 puffs of the fat floss is right. Like, I love, do you know what I love though is, like, even at the very start when they first, like, kind of come in contact, and it's like, obviously Steve's trying to bring roses to Nancy, and then Dustin's like, Steve, I need your car, and he's like, who the fuck is this child? Like, do you know what I mean?
It's funny because he's still trying to be cool, but Steve's just a big nerd.
100%. Steve is such a dick.
I think that's a perfect segue into Steve then.
Oh, Steve.
The old redemption man himself.
Honestly. Like, so yeah, like, Steve and Nancy are together, but they have a fight and then they split up, and Steve is, like, trying to get Nancy back, but then ends up getting embroiled in the kids' part. And, like, as much as he, like, tries to fight them on it, he's like, right, fuck it, cool, we're going into the tunnels and like all
Oh,
this
aye.
kind of stuff. Like
He's the most reluctant hero ever.
100%. Yeah, like Steve just wants to do his hair, you know, and get
Yeah.
Nancy back, and instead he's like, right, cool, get the goggles on, get the fucking scarves on, we're going into the tunnels on our way to save Will and Hopper and yada yada.
It's just hilarious. Like, we didn't really say this about the first season, but Steve's never won a fight.
No, and it just carries on.
Yeah, like he's meant to be like this fucking cool kid. Like, he's just a loser. Like the rest of
100%.
them, it's funny to see him like get torn down, but once he hangs out of this role, he's like, nah, fuck it. Like,
I feel like Steve getting battered is like it makes him more. It makes him win you over more. Does that make sense?
oh, I think it humbled him big time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, because Jonathan batters Steve in the first season. Billy batters Steve a good couple of times in this season. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Billy. We'll talk about big hunky Billy. Billy is like Steve's kind of like reluctant nemesis, if that makes sense. Like Billy has joined the school with his mullet and his double denim, best looking guy yet, and he like immediately looks at Steve as like, oh, so you're the fucking king of Hawkins High?
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking not. And Steve's like, why are you up on my dick? Leave me alone. Like Billy is all over Steve, whether it's basketball, ghettos, parties, keg stands, and all this. And Steve's like, why are you coming for my weave? Like, I've done nothing to you.
Yeah.
And Billy's like, I'm better than you in every single way. And Steve's like, all right, okay.
Yeah, he's just trying to big dog him. Isn't he?
Yeah. But like, Billy's a weird one, right? Because now Billy is an arsehole, right? Like, played beautifully by Dacker Montgomery.
Oh, he's easily the worst person in this.
Yeah, because like we were kind of talking about this when we were taking the notes for all of them, right? And we were like, oh, who's been the worst kind of bad guy in all 4 seasons, right? Because obviously, like when we get on to season 4, Jason takes quite a lot of heat in season 4, but Billy is just an arsehole. And are we forgetting like the racial undertones here of like, because Max is hanging about with Lucas, he's like, get the fuck away from him. And it's like, why is that, Billy? Why is that? You big racist. Like,
it's not even hidden. Like, it's just straight away as a colour of skin that he's like, no, you can't hang. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, 100%. Man, the 80s were a wild time, man. Lawless land.
He's the first like very physical human antagonist, if you will.
Yeah, because all the bad guys in season 1 are like scientists and demigorgons and stuff.
They're more hidden figures.
Yes.
Whereas he's just straight up a fucking knob.
And like meddles and everything. Like obviously he's Max's big brother, so he's getting involved with the kids through Max. He's also square going Steve at like any opportunity.
Yeah.
For like, okay, why are in? I mean, again, I stand by it. If that is the bully from the 80s, you're like, yeah, cool, the 80s was a lawless land.
Yeah.
The only reason that Billy is slightly redeemable is the fact that he's fucking good looking, and that's about it. Like, that is about it.
This is a weird thing I've seen on the internet.
What?
That
don't go into the Stranger Things internet.
No,
Ross, don't do that.
That people are trying to give him a pass.
Yeah.
Like,
have you seen the Steve and Eddie stuff?
No.
Right, there's like fan fictions written about Steve and Eddie being like a couple and like how they're both like Dustin's dads and all that. Spoiler alert for season 4. But like, yeah, no, don't dive too deeply into the Stranger Things side of the internet, man. Like, it gets cool and then gets creepy very fast. Like,
but no, it's even like the actors came out and said, no, Billy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, he is everything wrong with like small town America and
totally.
that. And he's like, don't. Like, he's just one of those guys that pick on you for anything.
100%.
If you were gay, or you're this and that, if you're black, he obviously, it's shown that he hates that.
Lucas and stuff, yeah.
Like,
it's showing that he doesn't respect women.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So, people that do this, stop doing that.
Yeah, don't be like Billy.
I don't care that he looks like handsome Shrek. That's not the point.
You're spot on, by the way, fucking spot on.
They even try and justify his actions because his dad batters him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that is not.
Yeah, no.
Like, break your cycle, people.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Like,
I love it, Ross. You're just out to like sort everybody out this season.
Like, Billy Hargrove, prick.
Yeah.
Alright, carry on with the teens then. the other two we've got left is Nancy and Jonathan.
Yeah, and this is the start of their like romance. What's it called? Like Jancy. There's Stancy and
Aye.
Jancy, and this is the start of Jancy. And Jonathan and Nancy. So because there's been no hashtag justice for Barb, they take it upon themselves to like unmask the Hawkins lab.
Yeah.
And this is where we also get introduced to Murray, who Murray is a divisive one. Like, I think Murray's a pain in the arse this season and season 3. But in season 4, I don't know if it's because I'm used to him that I'm like, okay, fine, I think you're quite funny.
Yeah, it grows on you.
Yeah. Oh, like a fucking rash.
Yeah.
But this season, Murray is so fucking annoying. But Murray is the one that constantly goes to Hopper and is like, oh, there's something fucky going on here. And Nancy and Jonathan are like, yeah, we've got proof. Like, we'll show you all this stuff. And then they kind of get together at Murray's and then have to, I don't know, man. But I love the continuation of Nancy getting like stronger and stronger, if you know what I mean. Like, she's obviously struggling with the death of her friend and dealing with the guilt that it might be her fault, but it's not, but she thinks it is.
Yeah, she didn't want to go to the party and Nancy kind of forced her to go to the party.
Exactly. And Nancy's kind of dealing with this through like when she gets pissed and shouts at Steve and calls him bullshit, and her and Steve kind of split up. But it's not really like I'm leaving you. It's just like kind of we've had a fight and they break up.
Yeah, they meet up after, remember, and he says, "Do you love me?" and she can't answer him.
Yeah, so because by this point she's already been nipping Jonathan. Yeah. Nancy, you dog.
This is kind of the like obviously the beginning of Murray Bowman, like with they two. And I do like how they approach trying to get the conspiracy, like of what happened to Barb and that uncovered, because it's like, oh, you can't tell the truth because nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is genius because if you like, this is so ridiculous, nobody will believe it, but water it down and add sprinkles in.
Yeah,
and you need to make this believable by lying. Essentially, I was like, that's genius.
Yeah, because they watered it down to being like, is it like chemicals in the water or something like that?
Yeah.
It's one of those ones. Chemicals in the water fucked up Barb, and this is how they uncovered like a government conspiracy kind of thing.
It's just, they're kind of the reason things get really fucked up because they shut the Hawkins lab down due to this because the government can't be seen to have bad press on what they're doing here.
Yeah. And then it all goes horribly wrong.
Yeah. That's the bizarre thing is that the government must know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, they're burning back the upside down so it doesn't envelop everything. But is it, surely there's going to be something else they could have done to just sack somebody. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or put somebody in jail.
Yeah.
So they get their wish and so Nancy can get a bit of closure on the Barb thing. But at the cost that it comes to, I mean, it's pretty severe, isn't it?
Yeah, like, there's not really any protection from the upside down anymore. Yeah.
That was like the last line and they've killed it.
Yeah. Again, in this season, continuing my Jonathan rant. This sounds bad because I actually really like Charlie Heaton as an actor, but I just feel Jonathan as a character is once again so one note. Like, in season 1, his note was Will. In this season, his note is Nancy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just not, he's not wrote that well for that.
No,
but what the actor can do.
Yeah, because I really like Charlie Heaton because, like, we've seen him in other things and he's pure, like, grand.
He's good. Yeah. Oh, he's really good, yeah.
Apart from New Mutants was terrible. But that wasn't him. That was just on everyone.
It took about fucking 10 years to come out after the first trailer.
I don't remember.
Do the adults in? This one's not too bad. Although it has one of the worst endings.
Oh, yeah.
So, same again, Joyce, Hopper, and we have a new love interest for Joyce and Bob.
Our wee Bob. Samwise Gamgee himself, do you know what I mean? But it makes sense that they cast Sean Astin in this because, like, Goonies fame.
Oh,
if we're going down the 80s route.
Oh, yeah.
But that is our Samwise, do you know what I mean? And Sean Astin just has this beautiful charm about him, you know? Like, that man could read me the yellow pages and I'd be like, okay, like he's just so cute.
Just fucking Samwise Gamgee into it. Absolute. Like, how can you be like, so the Goonies, a memorable fucking like character.
Memorable character.
Yes.
Goonies is huge, yeah.
Then Bob in this and Lord of the Rings, like what a career.
100%.
That's
That's just
had.
3 things,
Yeah,
yeah.
like he'll never be told no to go to a Comic-Con or anything.
Oh
like,
my god, 100%.
say, we're not really doing Lord of the Rings. I should say, you doing Stranger Things?
Yeah, yeah.
No, what about the Goonies? Aye, one in.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And he's just such a lovable wee dafty in this season.
Yeah.
Like even like when he's trying to, Joyce is phoning him to ask about like how to work the VHS, and he's like hitting her with technical stuff, and she's like, English, Bob, and he's like,
Yeah.
okay, now the wee wire thingy, and he's just like so annoyed about it.
Yeah, he's kind of like the trying to bring a bit of normalcy to Joyce's life.
Yeah.
Without him knowing fuck all that's happened.
Which is, yeah, because he just thinks like Will just like went missing and is
Yeah.
traumatized from that, and it's
Aye.
like, no. Like,
I do think it's a bit wild to start a relationship when this is happening, but I'm not a relationship expert.
listen, yeah, because I'm pretty sure season 2 is only like 6 months after season 1.
Yeah, it's not long.
That's one thing about Stranger Things is obviously, see, because it's like years in between the seasons coming out, trying to keep in your head the time jumps of every season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's quite something, you know. And I think one thing we've noticed, like from trying to write stuff down about this show, is like so fucking much happens, like trying to jam everything in, and it's like there's going to be bits obviously that we're not talking about because we're like, everything else happens, calm
there's
down.
so
do you know what I
much
mean?
in every episode. There's always something going on with them.
Into it, there's like 5 subplots per episode.
Yeah.
Give us a break. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, Bob and his best to try and, I mean, not impress Joyce, but like he's obviously madly in love with her and all that.
No.
And his demise is shocking.
Yeah, because like obviously he finds out and stuff, and honestly, this is Dustin's one flaw, because if Dustin hadn't taken Dart, the Demodog wouldn't have like grown that big.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have had the Demodogs taking Bob out. And honestly, that's another one. I'm just like, pour one out for my guy. Pour one out for my guy. Tears every time.
Yeah, Bob deserved better.
100%.
He deserved better than the psycho that is Joyce.
Yeah, you fucking leave Joyce alone. But even like, see when the Demodogs take Bob out, that whole bit. So you've got Dr. Owens using the CCTV to try and like guide Bob through. You think he's got out, and Joyce is like, oh, there's Bob. And then boof, Demodog to the face, right?
Yeah.
And then Hopper's like, Joyce, we need to move. I'm like, Hopper, you selfish arsehole. But this is also the season where we get sprinklings of Hopper's in love with Joyce. Sprinklings, mind you.
Yeah, aye. It is. How would that relationship work?
What, Hopper and Joyce?
Yeah.
Well,
like-
we'll find out.
Yeah, but given everything, how can the kids just sit there like, Hopper lives here now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's what do you talk about? All yous have done all this stuff.
Oh,
You've-
right, yeah.
Like he's been in, like ends up in the Russian gulag and all that in later seasons. What conversations do you have as a family?
Yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. Like, for season 5 is obviously like they need to wrap up everything,
Yeah.
right? No pressure, guys. And I'm just like, okay, when this is all done, if Hopper survives, because again, we've got bets on who's going and who's staying.
Yeah.
If Hopper survives and everything works out fine at the end of season 5, it's like, are they just sitting on their couch on like a Friday night, like phoning a pizza
Yeah, like
and being like, oh yeah, cool, mind that time? Do you know what I mean?
that's it. Where do they go? What do they do?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
there's-
we'll find out.
Yeah, there's no way you can live a normal life after this.
Yeah.
Like, what does he say to Jonathan? Stop smoking pot. He's like, fuck off. Like,
I ain't it.
you seen what we've done the past couple years? Piss off.
Yeah, I deserve a coping mechanism.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So the last person for this one is Hopper.
Ugh, fucking David Harbour, man.
Hopper's
Who's Madeline? Sorry, carry on.
Hopper's story in this one is mostly about 11 I do have a complaint about Hopper on this one though,
Carry on.
and he forgets about 11 very quickly.
100%. I don't know if 100%. I don't know if he forgets about her or if it's just straight up like he just assumes that she will stay in that fucking cabin, right? But like he leaves after they have this massive fucking fight.
Yeah.
He just assumes she's going to stay in that cabin, and then he gets like lost in the tunnels. He's in the lab. He's da da da. Do you know what I mean? He's like trying to exercise well. Like, do you know what I mean? It's all this shit happens, and then so when 11 bounces through the door and our whole new look, everyone's like, "What the fuck's going on here?"
Yeah, that's
and
it.
Hopper's like, like,
I'm so shocked.
100%.
And it's it.
Where the fuck have you been? Like,
Yeah, I feel this season and the third season is kind of Hopper gets dumbed down.
yeah, and yeah, because it's by season 3 he's not allowed to smoke anymore, eh?
Yeah.
Like they Netflix had to put a stop to him smoking because parents were complaining.
Yeah, they got a bit of backlash, was it? And it is a weird thing. It's like it's weird to see people smoking movies and that now.
No, 100%. But also, it was the 80s. Do you know what I mean?
But that's it. These things just don't happen on TV anymore, apparently.
No. I don't remember when it happened, but I do, like, I always feel like when we watch like an older movie or something, we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's, and it's all vaping now. The kids are vaping.
That, and you never see anybody smoking a rollie.
Yeah, bring back rollies.
You can get a rollie and you'll be fine. 2 a day, sort you out.
I do feel like, yeah, and this is the start of Hopper becoming like one note of rage with like the occasional pull the heartstrings moment when he's like writing Ella a note, or like when he, in this season it's when he does the radio call through to her and stuff, like, because obviously he's just assuming she's in the cabin living her best life, you know, being fucking raging at him, like. But yeah, but also David Harbour's a prick in this household, therefore I root for your demise.
Yeah, he has a lot of weird changes through the seasons. And
Do you know what I mean? I just have one more thing to say.
Okay.
Pour one out for Moose the cat. Sacrificed to Dart the Demodog because fucking Dustin's a twat.
That's the big arsehole move for Dustin.
Yeah, man. Pour one out for Moose. Pour one out.
And was it he says he found a lizard or something?
Yeah, they're trying. He's got like all these books on like reptiles and stuff, trying to figure out.
I was like, fuck off.
Yeah, don't annoy me. So we end season 2 with 11, what we think is finally closing the gate. Like she's shut it for good, we think. Hawkins' lab shut down because they're blaming it on like chemicals in the river. Yeah. Hopper officially adopts 11. All the kiddos go to their... Oh, we never talked about the snowball. Oh, let's talk about the snowball. Oh, please.
Go for it then.
Oh my God. All the wee kiddos get their wee prom and they're all so cute. Dustin has done his like Steve Harrington impersonation. And like, do you know, honestly, it breaks me every time when he goes up to all the lassies and he's like, ladies, shall we dance? And they just laugh at his face. And then Nancy comes in and is like, give them a couple of years and they'll clock on. And he's like, really? And he's just,
he's just buzzing.
100%. This is obviously where we get Max and Lucas have their first wee like, and then Hopper lets 11 come to the dance, and 11 and Mike have their like reunion and their moment as Every Breath You Take plays, and then it just does that classic Stranger Things thing, whereas the camera pans out, it flips, and we see that the Mind Flayer is still a fucking thing in the Upside Down. Dun dun dun. And this is the thing, is like, by this point you're like, okay, the Mind Flayer, like the big bad of the Upside Down, right? Like, first season is the Demogorgon, this is Demodogs and Mind Flayer, but you don't really have like an inkling on where the Mind Flayer lies in the ranks of bad guys from the Upside Down. But we will find out. Any final thoughts on season 1 and 2?
No, it's 2 of the best seasons of shows you're going to get.
Yeah, totally. And I do think season 2 is where you start to get into the more CGI of it all.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that.
But that's fine, but we'll get into that for season 3 because Trips, I'm warning you now, we're not going to be flattering about season 3. But again, I don't think a lot of people are. But like, anyway. But that's for part 2 for you to worry about. Thank you so much for listening to our terrible thoughts and opinions on season 1 and 2. And we'll see you next week for season 3 and 4. Bye.
Bye.